Good morning, YouTube family. My name is Righteous Teacher, and very quickly, the reason I chose that name is because I didn't want recognition for the information that I'm sharing with YouTube. I didn't want to put my name on it, so I just used Righteous Teacher, and I, messed with the letters a little bit in each word, but it still says Righteous Teacher. So my subject this morning is called Breaking Up After Love. Breaking up after you fall in love. I know it sounds strange, but if you give me a few minutes of your time, I'll try to make sense of it. I want to start off by explaining the word atom. The word atom, A-T-O-M. Atom is the smallest of an element capable of existing alone or in combination, which cannot be changed or destroyed in any chemical reaction. Again, it's called breaking up after love. And so it says here that an atom now we made up of these atoms. Our whole, everything in the world is made up of atoms. It's the smallest particle. But it's capable of existing alone or in combination. Okay? Let's move on. Atoms have what's called a half-life. A half-life. The half-life of a substance is the time it takes for half of the substance to decay. Okay, so an atom has a half-life, and the time it takes for it to decay is called the half-life, the time that it takes. Half-life also is the expected value when half the number of atoms have decayed. See, so the half-life is when half of the atoms decay. Give me a minute. I'm going to tell you how this goes into my subject. How it goes into relationships. Since we are made up of these atoms, we are capable of existing alone or in combination. We do have half-lives. We get into relationships. Some of us may have a half-life of 2 months. Some of us may have a half-life of 10 years, 20 years, 50 years. But we're made up of these atoms, and what I'm trying to do is tie these atoms into why we have the problems that we have in our relationships. So let's go on. Radioactive atoms are unstable, like most of us are, like most of our relationships, they're unstable, which causes them to shake, releasing certain types of radioactive particles such as alpha particles, beta particles, or gamma rays. Here's an example. For example, radioactive carbon-14 atom releases a beta particle to become nitrogen-14. See, so carbon-14 releases beta particles to become nitrogen-14. And this is the part that I want to try to make understandable as far as our relationships are concerned. Because we get into relationships. And in the beginning it's fine, it's beautiful. What we don't understand is that we are made up of the very atoms that are inside of us. So therefore, sorry about that. So therefore, there is a breakdown. Every amount, depending on the individual, to sustain and hold on to the love that they feel for the person that they began this relationship with, is going to tell what your half-life is of having a relationship. When we in our relationship, everything is going nice, everything is going beautiful, it's going great. all of a sudden there's a shaking, like the radioactive atoms. They're unstable. So now the person that we with is telling us that you're doing something wrong to me. You're hurting me. Whatever it is, A, B, or C that you are doing is hurting me. This, again, we're made up of atoms. So this is telling us, this should tell us that there is now time for a breakup. Again, carbon-14 releases a beta particle to become nitrogen-14. It doesn't mean that the relationship is over. It just means that it's time for us to shake off some of the things that is not right. It's not good. It does not make the relationship happy. So we should, like the atoms, we need to break up. Not break away, break up. Let go some of those things, those old things that's bothering us. A lot of us have been in, we've got our relationship information probably from people that's older than us, our parents, our aunts, our uncles, and they, we gotta be honest. We gotta be honest. I'm not disrespecting anybody. But it's bad information. And we learned this information from a child. So even when we go into our very first relationship, we're going in with information that we maybe learned off of social media. We may obtain this information from our parents, from our aunts, uncles, friends, older people. So it's not a good information. But again, the atom has a half-life. It breaks up to become a new atom. So if we would follow what we are made of, see, this is information that's coming. The atom is information that's coming from the inside, that the Creator, by whatever name you call him, he put this information in you. Study yourself. Study yourself so that you can see that when you believe that you're coming to the end, it always means that there is something that you have to let go of so that you can become a new Adam and you can start all over again. Whatever problems you're going through in your life, whatever, I'm mainly talking about relationships, breaking up after love, but now it's coming to me that whatever you're going through in your life, whatever you're going through, you're not, what you're doing, what your body is trying to let you know is that there is some things that you have to let go of so that you could become a new Adam, a new person, and start all over again. See, in your relationship, if you let go of the things that you learned off of social media, that you learned from the elders around you, that you learned from maybe some bad experiences in past relationships, if you let go of them, then you can become brand new and then give to your person that you are with a brand new love. Because again, carbon-14 releases a beta particle to become nitrogen-14. It didn't say carbon-14 just did not, it doesn't exist anymore. It still exists, but it became a new atom. Some other examples, uranium-232 has a half-life of 69 years. So that means every 69 years, uranium-232 breaks down and become a new atom. It doesn't just dissolve and dissipate and becomes nothing. It becomes something new. You breaking down to become something new. You see? So these problems that you're having in your relationship, this person keeps on telling you that something is hurting them. She's telling you what's hurting you. He's telling you what's hurt. She's telling you what's hurting him. He's telling you. You understand what I mean. You understand what I mean. But we all are relaying information to each other about what's hurting us. And we're not listening. And we have no knowledge of our own bodies, of our own physical makeup. So it's like, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean. Well, if you studied yourself, if you studied the particles and the atoms that you are made of, you will understand that yes, again, it says radioactive atoms are unstable, and we are made of these things. So we become unstable. And when somebody around us, a friend, a relative, a parent, or a child is telling the parent, or the boyfriend is telling the girlfriend, the husband is telling the wife, we don't understand because we don't know what it is that's going on inside of us. This is the message that I want to try to get across to y'all. Because I do want to see relationships prosper. It hurts me because I've been through it myself. Where people fall in love with somebody and they promise them the world, and then all of a sudden there's that unstableness, and then they, instead of releasing the things that the person that you are with is telling you about, you rather break up because you don't understand you don't understand your genetic makeup, you don't understand atoms. I'm not saying you can't. You can. Anybody can understand anything if they studied it. So I'm not saying you're not capable of it. I'm just saying what we don't know, we cannot act upon. So I think I'm gonna leave it right there, and I pray that you understand the breaking up. Breaking up after love means like, after you fall in love, it's going to be a time where you're going to have to break up. Not break away, but you're going to have to break up. It's kind of like the rocket ship. When the rocket ship takes off to go into space, it releases the boosters because it doesn't need it anymore. It can't hold on to it. There's no telling what happened. If the boosters did not break off and fall back to the earth, there's no telling. The whole ship probably would blow up. Much like our relationships, because we're not willing to let go and become a new particle, a new atom, a new person, so that you could then present yourself to the person that you are with as a new person who's not holding on to the things that they got from previous relationships, the things that they got from their parents, the things that they got from their aunts, uncles, older people that they know from the surrounding environment, the neighborhood, social media, television. It's just bad information for your relationship. And most times we are hurting ourselves and our own relationship. We're destroying it. We're destroying it. This is why it says the atom, the smallest part of it, which is the smallest part of an element capable of existing alone or in a combination. Most people get into a relationship and then all of a sudden they find out they want to exist alone. They want to act like they're alone while they are in a relationship. See, so we're working against ourselves. We're working against ourselves. It's a self-sabotage behavior that we're destroying what we have that's good in our lives. We destroy it ourselves because we don't understand about the radioactive atoms and the half-life of atoms, and we don't understand that we made up of these atoms. And so we destroying each other on a daily basis, every day, every week, every year, just destroying each other, not listening to what the other person is telling us, refuse to listen, sometimes outright defy. We have to learn how to break up after love. Once you find out you in love, you now gotta break up. You now gotta let it go. Let go whatever from your childhood, you have to let it go. There's things, sadly, that happens to us as children. And then we get into a relationship and those things affect us. So I'm going to leave it right there. And again, it's called Breaking Up After Love. And I am going to try to continue this to help to share the information that's being sent to me, that's being given to me, that I'm reading, that I'm studying the books. And I'll let you know the books, and I'll let you know the people that I'm getting the information from, because it would be good for you to study it yourself so that you don't go through life continuing hurting yourself because you cry. And I know you cry. You cry. You just don't cry around people. But if you can understand that we creating our own pain, then you can become that new Adam, and you can become that new person of happiness. Just the same way when you met that person you was with, you was happy in the beginning, you can be happy again. But it's going to be up to you, not to that person. That person has to let go of their own stuff. You have to let go of yours. Okay, so I'm going to leave it like that. Peace and blessings. Have a great day. See you next time. If you have any questions, you can put it into the comments, and I will try to answer it. I will answer it the next time I broadcast. Thank you very much. Have a great day.